In recent years, the genre blend of horror, romance, and comedy has become a significant trend. However, these films often fall into one of two extremes. Either they turn into a messy jumble of ideas or lean too heavily toward one aspect, neglecting the others. Your monster tries to avoid these traps, but only manages to land somewhere in the middle. The film is by no means a disaster, but it's far from a masterpiece. It's amusing and touching in its own way, yet a few missteps keep it from being truly outstanding. The plot revolves around Laura Franco, played by Melissa Barrera. Her life is in shambles. She's facing a grim medical diagnosis, and her boyfriend, with whom she had big Broadway dreams, decides to leave, abandoning her to deal with her struggles alone. But, as is often the case in such films, when all seems lost, a monster enters her life, a strange creature living in her closet. They become unlikely friends, with the monster helping Laura find the strength to face her challenges. Yes, it sounds a bit naive, maybe even absurd, but the film does have a certain charm. Melissa Barrera as Laura is, at the very least, compelling. Her performance captures a woman enduring tremendous trials, and she portrays Laura's pain and confusion effectively, especially in the first half of the film. However, as the story progresses, Laura's character arc starts to drown in melodrama. The endless complaints and emotional outbursts initially feel sincere, but eventually come across as overdone, making it harder to stay emotionally invested. The monster, played by Tommy Dewey, is the film's comedic highlight. He's depicted as a frat boy-like creature who can play piano and quote Shakespeare one moment, then raid the fridge and devour chips the next. His character is a mix of exaggerated goofiness with occasional heartfelt moments, but his over-the-top mannerisms sometimes feel distracting. Dewey's portrayal often veers into parody territory, reminiscent of Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, which pulls focus from the story's intended tone. The supporting cast and the storyline don't offer much originality. Stereotypical characters from romantic comedies, like the unworthy ex, the fake friend, and the manipulative former partner, fill out the roster. While Laura and the monster stand out, their dynamic occasionally feels forced rather than natural. One of the film's biggest drawbacks is its lack of clear genre identity. Marketed as a horror comedy with romantic elements, it doesn't fully deliver on any of these fronts. The monster, despite its eerie premise, isn't particularly scary, and the story leans more toward magical realism than true horror. The few intriguing moments involving the monster are undercut by ill-timed jokes and comedic interludes that clash with the film's overall mood. The pacing is another issue. The story unfolds slowly, which undercuts any sense of urgency or tension. Scenes between key moments are often stretched too thin, making the film feel sluggish. This becomes particularly noticeable during Laura's epiphany in a park, a moment that drags on before she finally starts formulating a plan, which promptly falls apart. Visually, the film is polished. Vibrant colors interspersed with dark tones create a subtle gothic vibe, particularly evident in the theatrical scenes, which are beautifully staged. The costumes, makeup, and set design are visually appealing. The monster's quirky appearance is also well executed, adding some much-needed intrigue. However, despite these visual strengths, the film doesn't leave a lasting impression. As for the ending, it's a blend of melodrama and comedy with a slight twist, leaving the audience with a sense of ambiguity. The resolution raises more questions than it answers about Laura and the monster's fate, making viewers wonder what happens next. While this open-ended approach can be effective, here it feels abrupt and unearned, leaving little time to process the story's events. Your Monster is a film that, despite a few strong moments, leaves an impression of missed potential. The idea of an imaginary monster helping a woman confront her inner demons and life crises is powerful on paper, but the movie doesn't fully capitalize on it. It's amusing and occasionally moving, but it falls short of being a full-fledged horror romantic comedy. Melissa Barrera and Tommy Dewey deliver solid performances, but even they can't escape the genre's clichés. This isn't a film worth rushing to see in theaters, but it's fine for a casual night in. It has its moments, but doesn't quite pack the punch it promises.